Parents of Campton Dairy Queen employees claim they were forced to eat tainted ice cream at work. And school bus safety legislation is discussed in a House committee.
Plus, we are tracking gusty winds, some heavy rain, and a big cool down by tomorrow. Your forecast coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
A wind advisory is now in effect for most of the region through tomorrow afternoon. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour are possible in the higher elevations. Severe weather is also a possibility tonight in parts of Kentucky. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Cameron Aaron for the very latest. Cameron.
Yes, Steve, no severe weather issues in our region as we go into this evening, but we are watching out for a few showers and possibly some strong storms close to the Ohio River. Up on First Alert, pinpoint Doppler right now, most of us are dry and mild. Those temperatures in the middle to lower 60s on your Tuesday, but we are zooming into a few light showers and a few sprinkles in West Virginia, also pushing into Southwest Virginia for Buchanan County at this hour. But again, for most, we are dry at this hour. As we go into late tonight, though, we are tracking the potential for some strong to severe storms, especially over northern and western Kentucky, close to the Ohio River. That orange color from Cincinnati to Louisville to Paducah, that is a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather. They could see some strong storms later on this evening. Now, closer to home, we're expecting possibly a few strong storms by early tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. through about 1 p.m. on Wednesday, but our threat is much lower. A level 1 risk of severe weather in place. Not everyone will see strong storms, but a few cannot be ruled out. We could see some heavy rain, some gusty winds for the main threats, but possibly a quick spin-up tornado, especially over those far northern counties close to I-64. More details on that weather threat, plus a big cool down coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Crews say the weather may have caused a crash this morning. The Richland Fire Department in Knox County says strong winds caused a tree to fall down on North Kentucky 11 around 6:30 this morning. It pulled down several power lines. Crews say a driver did not see the tree in time and crashed. They were taken to the hospital. We do not know their condition. Parents are concerned after they say their children were forced to eat ice cream mixed with cleaning solution. They claim this happened at work. Samantha Valentino spoke with one of those parents in Campton.
Angela Patton says her daughter was here at the Campton Dairy Queen Friday night when one of her supervisors forced her and several other employees to eat contaminated ice cream.
They were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to taste it today.
Patton says the ice cream had been contaminated with a cleaning solution.
She said that they weren't cleaning the ice cream machine correctly. So I assume she was going to make them taste what some of the customers had tasted.
Several of the employees involved, including Patton's daughter, were minors. Patton says some of the employees were taken to the emergency room for treatment. Her daughter chose to resign.
Some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream. I think one child may have spit hers out. There was approximately 8 of them that were involved.
Patton says she hopes to see the supervisor facing criminal charges.
Multiple parents have came in, multiple adults have came in, filled their statements out, and we do the necessary paperwork to go along with that.
Deputy Elijah Banks with the Wolfe County Sheriff's Office says because there are juveniles involved, he's limited on what he can say about the situation. They're working with the county attorney to determine what action to take in this case.
The Wolfe County Sheriff's Office says no charges have been filed at this time. They're still investigating the situation. In Wolfe County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
We've reached out to the Campton Dairy Queen. All they would tell us is that they have no comment on the situation. A Laurel County man is facing charges after leading police on a car chase yesterday morning. Police arrested Dustin Bewley after the chase that ended at the roundabout intersecting Highway 1006 and 363. Police had received a report about a possible kidnapping. After trying to stop Bewley, Officer Hobie Doherty says the man tried to get away.
Officers were given updates, and myself and other officers were able to locate the vehicle. When we did, we got behind it, turned on our emergency lights and sirens, and the suspect driving the vehicle proceeded to take off at a high rate of speed.
Police say Bewley was arrested after his car turned over, striking a utility pole and guide wire. Coming up at 6, we'll have more on the investigation into this incident. School buses could have more cameras installed. If a bill passes the General Assembly, these cameras would record activity on the outside of the buses, specifically of drivers who don't stop when kids are being loaded and unloaded. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the legislation.
This is not the first time Kentucky lawmakers have debated this bill. Several years ago, the bill got through the House and partway through the Senate, but it stalled. It would simply allow school districts the freedom to put these cameras on a school bus to record violations of the stop arms coming out. The stop arms come out when children are being let out and loaded onto the bus, but people say a lot of drivers sometimes ignore those, and we've received recordings of several violations, including one in Franklin County last year and another in Rowan County several years ago. Representative David Hale says the last deadly case in Kentucky was in Breathitt County when a parent was hit walking back across the street after putting a child on a bus, all the while the stop arm was out. He says the bill does not mandate school districts buy the cameras, it just allows them to do so.
Because I realized the cost was going to be exorbitant for most of our schools, and I know they're struggling with cost right now.
The bill sponsor says he doubts that school districts would have to pay the $1,900 per camera to have them installed. He believes that vendors would come in and pay the cost up front, and then any penalties that would have to be paid from violations would then pay back those vendors. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Representative Hale says the cameras would only record activity when the stop arm is out.
Consumer Reports reveals their top picks. I'm Bradley Blackburn, and I'll tell you why many hybrids made the list.
Plus, a level 1 risk of severe weather is in place tomorrow. More details on that storm threat after this break.